Awesome. So, Pat, over to you. I think required a slide. Awesome. All right. So I think, okay, I hope it's presented. All of you can see it. Devansh has already set a context for me that, what exactly we're going to talk about. And you all know, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic that we all are kind of struggling one or the other way. And that is the work-life balance. But we're not going to directly talk about the work-life balance. We're going to talk about the work-life blend, 2.0 version of work-life balance in this era. So I request Part to just change the slide. Awesome. So we're going to find the time, find the line with it. But before that, I have a very interesting question for all of you. I want you to share a song name that describes your feeling at the end of the typical work day. And I think it's 6, so it's your end of the day from work. But I think that's something that you all know, but I want you to share that song name that you resonate your current mood with and your typical work day. I'm going to open my chat box and let's see. If you want me, I can share mine first. This is the song that I resonate to in the end of the working day, typically. Wow. Thank you for that, Pranav. Okay, ढल गया दिन हो गई शाम मुसाफिर हूँ यारो ना घर है ना ठिकाना. Awesome. Okay. More. Come on. You can turn on your cameras. You can turn on your mics. Speak up. It's really good to also hear your words. All right. Thank you so much, Bay. Anyone else? Girl on Fire. Great song. Anybody else? Soja Soja Lagle. Very good. Oh, Nanan Palinde Karaja. Interesting. Perfect. I think the list will go on. And now to just understand, with all the response that we have gotten so far on the chat box, it is mostly we all feel draining at the end of the day when our work ends. Can anybody of you can just turn on your mic and speak up? Why do you feel so drained at the end of the day? Anyone? Anand, would you like to?
Maybe we don't take breaks, that's why. We don't take breaks frequently.
If you're speaking, your voice is not audible. Anand. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Still, no. Never mind. Okay. I think, Anand, you can type your message over here. Okay. I want somebody else to speak up about it. Vishal, I think you turn on your mic. So would you like to?
name the song that describes you feeling
Okay.
typical work day. घायल परिंदा हूँ मैं.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Vishal. Vishal, would you like to tell us that, why do we feel so drained at the end of the day? हम पूरे दिन में काम करने के बाद at the end of the day drained क्यों feel करते हैं?
ओवरकम होने से और कुछ अलग होने से.
Right. Anybody else? Thank you so much. I think it's on point.
Mental pressure.
Mental pressure. Super, Pranav. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Anybody else?
Not having interest to perform the task.
Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. We have few answers here as well. Maybe we don't take enough breaks throughout the day. Absolutely, we're going to talk about that. Attending the meeting all the day, dealing with clients, absolutely. Multitasking, superb, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. And if you see this all boils down to the one aspect that we are not able to maintain that balance that we all are trying to do, that, running to the meeting, but also taking care of yourself, taking enough breaks. And that happens because we lack the balance that we are all trying to achieve, that we are all, trying to strive for. And that brings me to the next concept, which is the next slide, which is work-life balance. We've all seen that, we've all heard so far that, what exactly work-life balance is. Sabki life mein work-life balance hona chahiye. We all need work-life balance. If work-life balance is not there, then I think it's not this right organization for me. But what exactly work-life balance is? Work-life balance, as a very standard definition, it means the strict demarcation between your personal and your professional life. In a very layman term, I can say it's a dance that we all see ourselves doing between the work and the life. The work goes up, the life goes down, the work life goes up, the work goes down, right? And there are a lot of barriers that are there. And that is something that we're going to explore. But this is what work-life balance is. Now, I'm going to launch a poll and ask you a very interesting question. So here's the poll. I request all of you to think and then just click on one option that you can resonate to. Okay. It's pretty quick. Thank you so much, guys. You've been so enthusiastic. It's great. All right, right. We've received around 82. Perfect. I think we can close the poll now. We have gotten around, can you share the results with everyone, Parth? Awesome. Second. Great. So we can see that, only 6% of people said that, they are perfectly able to balance their life. On the scale of 0 to 5, they feel that their life is mostly balanced. And around 3, around 52%, and total, if we do total 70% people feel that, they're not able to maintain the balance that they're all looking for. Right? And but what exactly happens, regardless of this wonderful name and a great history behind work-life balance? Why do we always fail to maintain the work-life balance? Anybody from the participants would like to share why we always fail to maintain the work-life balance? Anyone? All right. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, this is
Hi.
B from
Hi, B.
VoloPay. I think to answer your question, it's specifically now at this time of everyone is in the work from home setup. I think it's hard to really find the work-life balance because we're working in our own rooms and we're not able to really separate what the work from our bedroom or from our daily lives. Like we cannot really go out specifically, so there's really no chance of really seeing the division between our personal life and our work life. So I think that's one reason why there's a hard time having this balance, which I would want to understand. How do we really separate life if we're seeing our laptops like right in front of us, like the bed, our bed is there, but our laptop is also there.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, B. And I'm going to surely answer that question. If I don't answer the question, please ask in the end as well. Super question and, super answer to what I asked. Thank you so much for sharing it. So I think B explained it very well that, we all struggle with work-life balance. And there is a reason why we all struggle with work-life balance. One of the most prominent reason is, of course, expecting the 50% of balance. Well, there are multiple reasons why we usually fail to maintain the balance, but these are the most common reason why we fail to maintain the work and life balance. Okay, the first thing, as I mentioned, is giving the equal importance to work and life. Every day we're feeling that, okay, 50% I'll work and 50% I'll give time to my family, which emerges and becomes a guilt and also contributes to fear of missing out. If we don't give 50% to our family, then we feel that, okay, we are not doing good as a father, as a brother, as a son, or as a daughter, right? And this is one of the one of the barriers why work-life balance doesn't work. It contributes to more and more guilt and the fear of missing out. If you give 80% to your work life one day, then you fear of missing out something on your personal life. And that's the reason why it doesn't work in the first place. The other reason is unrealistic boundary that we draw between our work and our life. And if we overstep, the inner critic starts to speak. Example is why I picked my boss call when I was actually spending my time with my family. Even if it is very urgent, your inner critic will talk about that. So that's one of the thing. And the other thing is, if you are working and you're working on a very urgent thing, and if something pops up from the personal end and somebody calls you, you will again feel guilty that I was working. Why am I supposed to receive the personal call? This is the other reason why, usually work-life balance fails to work. The third and the I can say the most prominent reason that we all go through is the inner guilt that we all go through. And this inner guilt happens because the promises that we make with ourselves. And these promises land us to the stress and burnout in eventually. So one of the inner guilt, that inner promise that you will make that will give rise to inner guilt is, I will go to workout after 7 because my 50% of work balance is after 7. My personal life is after 7. And that gives rise to, your inner guilt, that if you, exceed 30 minutes, you tell yourself that, okay, I'm not going to do it today, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. And that's when you feel more guilty about it. One of the reason is, I'll give more time to my family after 7. If that doesn't happen, then again, you feel guilty about it. And again, it contributes to burnout and stress. Now, these balance that we right now, spoken about is, slowly turns into an energy vampire. I'm sure that, most of you know what exactly vampires are, but these work-life balance and these boundaries becomes the energy vampire. We spend so much of energy in just thinking that why I'm not able to maintain the boundary between my work and my life, than actually spending time with your family or with your colleagues. So basically, in a nutshell, spending time with your work at your workspace and at your personal space. So just to give it a substantial evidence, there are multiple research that shows that if people don't feel control over the time of their own time, this thought leads them to burnout. This thought leads them to illness and tremendous amount of stress. So for example, this one study that shows that failure to achieve balance, increase in absenteeism, low productivity at work, and another research proves that, the major job satisfaction happens because we don't get the sense of work and life balance. So we stop ourselves from, including anything from our personal life to the work and work to the personal life, vice versa, right? But anything and anybody would like to add to this list other than just, I have spoken so far? Anyone? Something that we have missed that you would like to add? All right, I'll take it as no. So if not work-life balance, then what do we have as an option if no work-life balance? So answer the B question. Let's go to the next slide. The one of the most discussed topic and discussed of phenomena approach that came into picture after pandemic and before as well is work-life blend. This approach has been proven by over thousands of research evidences across the globe. Basic definition for work-life blend is to bring your work and life closer together rather than drawing a very strict line for work and personal time, so that you as a professional can tackle the responsibilities at work while being at your personal space. So we don't need to separate one from the other. Rather, we integrate all the facets, all the parts of our lives, and not thinking that work is not part of my personal life, because we all know that it's one feeds the other. If something goes wrong in your personal life, your professional life gets affected. So let's go and check some of the example that work-life blend tells us. One of the things for work-life blend is, if you're doing work from home, is spending that 10 minutes to help your kid complete homework if somebody is married here. The second is doing the virtual doctor appointment within your work hours. Don't wait for 7 o'clock so that you can take the doctor's appointment. Take out the time, take out 15 minutes and take the doctor's appointment within the work hours. This helps you not just to work on your health, but also refraining from delaying the doctor's appointment, which is very important for all of us. Now, the third point is very interesting. We all know that, how many times we delay our work and our exercises. So if you do work-life blend, it is not just about you working out after 7, but it is within the working hours. So you can take out 30 minutes, you can take out 15 minutes from your work timings and just do the stretching, do the basic stretching if you're not doing a hardcore workout. And if you're somebody who likes to do workout for 1 hour, then you can take out that time from your working hour as well, instead of waiting for your personal life to get activated. Any questions so far? Is it too fast? Am I going too fast? Anyone? Yes, no, maybe? None? Awesome. Perfect. So the other thing is, meeting a friend over a lunch. We all know how we feel when we meet our friends. So instead of just waiting for the weekend to come and, you deciding something else other than just meeting your friend, you can just take out time. You can take out your lunch time, or you can take time from your work time and start, go with your friend out for a lunch. And this is realistic if you don't have anything high priority flowing project in your bucket. If something is high priority, then you cannot practice this phenomena, this example of work-life blend. But I think you got it. So if you have the low flowing project, you can actually take your time, take your 15-30 minutes and go out and have lunch with your friends and have the conversation while you have the lunch. The other thing of work-life blend is, if you have seen, when we constantly just sit at place and start just working, we tend to lose that focus. We tend to lose the energy. Again, the energy vampires sit on the neck and suck it. So when you do work-life blend, you take more often breaks. You take music breaks. You just, shut off your computer, or, open a new tab and start listening to the music just to rejuvenate, right? The last part of, the best example that I love is just get on a call with your best friend. Sometimes when you're working on a very difficult project, you're not able to, brainstorm on very important things that you have to. Just take a break from it and talk to your friend. And I think most of you might have experienced, sometimes great idea pops up after you take breaks. So work-life blend actually works us to do this. So in a nutshell, it makes, a full use of time by blending two lives that we have. Now, we all know that everything comes with a limitation. So I would like to ask, what do you guys think that, that limitation could be to us? Anybody? Perfect. Okay, no. I think, Chitrang, you asked a question about what about less drinking water? Exactly. So when you decide that, you're drawing a very strict boundary between your work and life, you tend to feel that, okay, even it is about getting up and, taking a sip of water, I'm not supposed to do it because I'm going to lose on few things. I'm going to talk about this very specifically in the next slide. So, Vatila. Awesome. Okay, if you don't have any questions so far, let's move on to the next slide. And let's understand what are the barriers. So one of the barriers is something that, we all might have gone through for sure. My colleague actually laughed when I was sharing this with him. The first is the yes captain attitude. We all feel that, every time if somebody asks me a question, if somebody gives me a task, I should say yes to it. And that becomes a barrier to work-life blend. Very bad, very badly. It affects the overall workflow, impacts the personal life and the professional as well. So this is one of the thought barriers that we have, that if we feel that we have a lot of things on our plate, instead of saying yes to everything, stop it and say no to it. The other barrier that we have is, the more I work, the more hours I work, the more progressive, my company is seeing me. I'm being an asset to the company. And that adds up to the, the perfectionism culture in the organization. We prioritize time over progress. So this becomes a barrier. You spend most of your time spending, at your computer. You feel that if I sit more time, then my progress is going up. And that becomes a thought barrier when you do the work-life blend. And the other thing is, sometimes we confuse work-life blend by just giving a 24 access card to your manager, your teammates, your colleagues, right? And that is the flexibility stigma. Everyone expecting that, okay, if XYZ person, if Parth is doing work-life blend, then he must be there when I ask him to, because he's practicing work-life blend, right? He is not sitting for 7 hours or 9 hours straight. So that becomes a barrier. You're not supposed to give 24/7 access to anyone. There will be limitation to work-life blend as well. It's not about working 24/7. The other thing is progress at work and well-being. So we tend to compare our personal lives with our professional lives. It's a very interesting story that I have to tell all of you. Lately, I was talking to one of the clients, and few of the session, we spoke about a lot about his work, and he was very happy in the beginning. And I thought, what is going wrong? That this person is happy, and we're still having this discussion about he not being happy on the other side. But later we've realized that he was happy in his professional life, and what he was trying to do is merging his just thinking that if he's happy in the professional life, he'll also be happy in the personal life, and not giving enough time to his personal life. And that's what we call comparing your work progress with your family life, with your personal life. Any questions here? All right, I'll take it as no. Okay. The other thing is, I think somebody just said about the water break. When we start practicing work-life blend, it the thought barrier that comes to most of us is, if I take break, work will stall, right? Things will fall apart. We feel that, okay, I have a loop in which I think, and if I stop, then I will not be able to get into that loop. But neurologically, it has been proven that the more often breaks you take, the more effective at workplace you be. So work-life blend helps you to do that. You set your boundaries, to do one particular task and get back to your personal things to do as well. The other thing is, we all of us thinking that we need to just behave in an organization and not share anything with our managers or anything with our colleagues. And that's the barrier that, disrupts the total work-life blends. It is about, not talking about your challenges, because you feel that if I talk about my challenges with my manager, I'll be less competent. My manager feel that, okay, he's just trying to give reasons, too many reasons to me. And that's when work-life blends disrupts. It doesn't work. So we have to make sure that we open up and we talk openly about our work-life balance, right? Any questions? Okay, I got no, all good, perfect. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Awesome. The first thing of how to become a work-life a pro at work-life blend is first understand that change is difficult. It will always take time to adopt something that is new to you. And so basically, when you start work-life blend, you have to start taking small step towards it. One of the example is take out 30 minutes from your work life to just move around. If you're doing work from office or talking to your colleagues, not disturbing them, of course, listening to a music that is your best favorite music list. Or if you're doing work from home, take out your kids to ice cream shop or do a house chore. And this is a small blending of your personal and professional life. You will see that something that you're waiting for after 7 p.m. you're able to do it within the working hours, and that will give you the sense of joy that you're not missing out on anything from your personal life as well. The second thing is the Monday blue negotiation. Now, you might have seen that all of us negotiate a lot with our HRs when it comes to a salary. But have you ever negotiated for the deadlines? Anyone? Proudly negotiated for the deadline. Anyone? Yes, no, maybe, that's it. That's all I want to know. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Bali. All right. Yes. Oh, I think there are 2 people who said they negotiated for the deadline. So it is the skill to blend your life. If you are somebody who negotiate, if you're not a person who negotiate the Monday deadline, then work-life blend will not work, because on Sundays you will just think about your work as Monday is your deadline. So make sure that you every time your deadline is on Monday, and if you're practicing work-life blend, you ask and you request for the deadline to be on Tuesday instead of just being on Monday. And research has shown that it has shown that people who actually negotiate for their deadlines are proactively refrain from going to the burnout phase, and are more often showing performance at their workplace. The other thing is knowing that there can be challenge, there can be a dip in your work-life blend practices, and we have to do trial and error. We are not living somebody else's life, so we have to figure out which how work-life blend is working. Some of you might quickly get onto work-life blend and enjoy it, some of you might not. So you have to keep on doing work-life blend by taking smaller step and writing out the progress. Yeah, the other part of becoming a work-life blend pro is to reframing the rest. It's understanding that it's not necessary that you carelessly take a nap just on the weekends. So if you feel that during your working hours you're very sleepy, make sure that you block your calendar and tell your colleague that I want to take a 30-minute nap. And we have shown, it has been seen as a research that it increasingly, highlights your performance to the organization and to yourself as well. And there are a lot of neurological studies that prove that if you take the short naps, it improves your emotional well-being as well. Yeah. One of the most important part to be pro at work-life blend is to set the blend with the team. Because if you don't set the blend with your team collaboratively, we might fail because your colleague will not understand why you are not at your desk when you're supposed to. So when you're doing it, make sure that you are you're telling them that, okay, I'm going to practice work-life blend. So my calendar is blocked for the personal hour. So you can just write it on the calendar that block for your personal hour and do whatever you want to do at your personal side. Right. And in the end, it's all about, encouraging others to also practice work-life blend. Because if only 5-6 people are practicing work-life blend, it is not going to work, because other people might feel, or the person who's practicing might feel that, okay, this person is working a lot, and I'm not working at all. So encourage others to also, practice work-life blend. I would like to, summarize this by just saying that there will be a time where you will fail to practice work-life balance, and there is no shame in it. There will be a time when you will feel that, okay, work-life blend is not working for me, but it is all about taking the small step, making blocking the calendars, communicating to your managers that, okay, I'm going to spend my personal time as well because I'm not able to balance it. So I'm going to blend it. And if even after practicing all the strategies, it doesn't work, reach out for the professional help. It's always great to reach out to a professional help, because talking to a psychologist, talking to a coach is not just about, talking about your adversities, talking about your personal problems. It also about reaching out and talking about not able to schedule your time or not able to blend your work and life. Clear? Anybody has any questions? If no, we can move on to the next one. All right. Seems like nobody has any question. Let's move on to the next slide. Now, this is, how work-life blend actually works and help us to improvise our well-being, overall. Now, it gives us a very great flexibility. So for example, if you, I'll just take my example. If I want to take my parents to some appointment, I'm just going to block my calendar. If there is no meeting, that I'm going to take a personal time because I have to take my parents to hospital and I'm not going to delay it. This is a very serious reason. But even if it is all about going to meet your kid, or going for a parents teacher meeting, or meeting just your friend, you can do that. You can just block your calendar, because you know that you can fulfill that working hours at the end of the day, because it's not about your work is ending at 7. So it gives us a very great flexibility too. Now the second part of how work-life blend helps us is accountability for progress or work done and not hours spent. So we take full-fledged accountability of our time and our amount of work that we are doing. And work-life blend works because you know that even if you are not doing something at 2 p.m., you will make sure that it happens post 7, because you have spent post 7 personal things before that 7. Okay, so you have merged it, and you know that you're going to dedicate time for your personal, your professional life after 7 as well. The third point is, is to understand that opportunity to attend to your own needs. Somebody has just said that, I not very often I take water breaks. I don't have time to work out. So this helps us to take more and more water breaks, more and more. If you're doing work from home, you can just go to the next room and talk to your parents about something that is very serious or very enjoying. I do one thing. I have my two nephews at my place. So I simply get up from my desk, block my calendar, I just talk to them for 15-20 minutes and get back to work again. And that's what work-life blend is all about. It improvises our energy because you are taking more often breaks. It is not just about continuously working for 7 hours. So that's what work-life blends help us to do. And in the end, this will help you to take out all the guilt and a fear of missing out and the stress that we get when we are not able to maintain our work and life. So that's all about how it helps us to maintain that flow into our work and life blending. Perfect. Any questions do we have? No questions? Anyone? Okay, let's move on to the next slide. And this is a very interesting activity. And I want all of you to just write it down in the chat box. What is your acronym for blend? We all know what exactly blend is. So I'm just going to give how I perceive blend is. First is the B stands for body awareness, because I'm spending more of my time in not just work, but also understanding how am I feeling. So first is B from body awareness, or be with others. The L stands for loving, because I'm not just loving self, but also my colleagues. And the E stands for energy conscious. I know where my energy is flowing. And the N stands for no saying, the freedom of saying no. The no captain behavior is going away. So no saying. And the D stands for de-stressing. I'm taking time to work out. So that's what I'm doing. Awesome. What about you? All of you, anybody would like to just unmute and speak about it? How they feel this? Anyone? Jasmine, B, Kapil, anybody would like to unmute and speak? No? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Balu, for being so straightforward. I think I totally get it. It's sometimes difficult to quickly come up with words, but I'm sure that you're able to understand it, why we are doing this activity. The reason for doing this activity is to understand that blend brings up good things in our professional and personal life as well. So if not today, okay, then you can just write it in your book and tell me later while we end the session. Okay, B is be brave. Awesome. Enough to acknowledge that you need the blend in itself. Perfect. B is brunch and snacks. Awesome. L is love yourself. B is bold and laugh. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, guys. I think you guys saved this activity. Thank you again. If there are more acronyms that you all can come up with, please use the chat box and utilize overall the chat box. Okay. Oh, there are more coming in. Awesome. Great. So I think in the meantime, people share their thoughts on chat box. I'd like to summarize this session by just saying that we all are we all are earning, we are all striving to get onto the higher position. We are all striving to build that great relationship with our wife, spouse, girlfriend, anyone. And we are all doing this to achieve one thing, and that is happiness, right? The happiness from our personal, from our professional, and from our social life. And it is all about the one feeds the other. If your personal life is not good, you might see that your professional life is dipping down, right? If your professional life is not good, you'll see that your personal life is dipping down. So it's always one feeds the other. And if it is one feeds the other, why don't we merge it? Why don't we do it together? Why don't we feel that our work life is contributing to our personal life, and our personal life is contributing to our work life, instead of not demarcating work and life as a totally different things. Yeah. Awesome. I think I would like Apart to just change the slide. And the thing that I've summarized for all of you about happiness and how we are striving for it by achieving different things, in the race of doing that, in the race of climbing while picking up and holding up others in the ladder, we all miss out on one thing, is taking care of ourselves. but there is only one person that's going to always be with you, and that is you. So make sure that, you take care of yourself, and everything that we have spoken so far is all about making sure that, your life and you are able to achieve the happiness that you're all striving for. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that, you all shared your thought, all of you asked the question, and I know the amount of efforts it takes to, be in the session after working for 7 hours, after working for 9 hours. Thank you so much. I'm super grateful. The platform is open for all the question and answer, and I'm open for answering all the questions that you have. Please unmute and speak, or you can share it on the chat box.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Prayag, for the session and everything. I think we would want to run a poll before we do a
Yes.
next Q&A, and I would prefer like if you could have a water or something, because you've been speaking for 45 minutes straight, man.
Thank you so much. All right. I really genuinely want all of you to give a very, constructive feedback to this, because this is going to help not just me, but all of, the NOAA team to improve and things. Thank you.
At the same time, if you folks want to book a one-on-one consultation with Prayag, feel free to use the link I'm putting in the chat. We have got recently 35 to 40% discount from Mana, so feel free to use that as well. So I think, Prayag, we have one question. Even if we wish to balance work life, but in some cases there is a restriction because of employment, then what to do in that case?
This is the most common question, and thank you so much for asking, whoever asked this. This is the most common, issue when it comes to work-life blend, and it is the way to solve it is have a very clear communication with the management, that why, you practicing work-life balance is not working, and how it is going to impact your, the efforts and the efficient work that the company is expecting you to do. And the communication will solve this problem. Even if there are few norms of the organization that you have to sit for 7 hours and work, then it's all about the culture. You have to speak to your manager, and then take a small steps instead of just starting the blend altogether. And that's the reason why I've said that we have to make sure that you have to take small steps and make sure that your surrounding is also practicing the work-life blend. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, Pranav, feel free to unmute yourself. If you're not
Yes, I think that'll be great.
I think Pranav said thank you.
Anybody?
Anyone else have any questions? Feel free to drop in.
Devansh, I think I had seen somebody asking a question while I was delivering the session.
Check it out.
What about a power nap? Balu asked a question. What about a power nap in a hot afternoon? I think, Balu, I've covered this point. It's very important during the summers to, get the power nap. And I think I've also explained about how important it is to take a naps and how neurologically it helps you to be best at your work and your professional life. So yes, it is very important, and Blend will help you to do that. Thank you.
Ruchira has a question. Ruchira, I think you can just use the link. If link is not working out, you can drop an email to your HR, and HR will connect with us, and we'll try to get things moving. Balu is how to say no for a meeting at 9 p.m. That's a fair question.
Awesome. I think this is the no captain, yes captain behavior that we are all attached to. See, Balu, we are not practicing work-life blend. Work-life balance. We are able, we are trying to practice work-life blend. So there will be a time when you have to, say yes to 9 p.m. meetings. If you want to practice work-life blends, it's not about, going out of your will and saying yes. But there will be time when you have to, say yes to 9 p.m. meetings, because sometimes at 3 to 5, you will be off. You will be, working with your family, or just go out on lunch or brunch with your family or friends. So there will be time, and that's what work-life blend is all about. We not thinking that after 9, I'm not going to work. But the thing that I've mentioned, the barrier, you have to draw a boundary of 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. if you feel. But there should be a little strict, a blur boundary that you can compromise, right? Which will help you to not exceed your, and drain yourself in order to just practicing blend. So there will be time when you have to get on a meeting at 9 p.m. Does that answer your question, Balu?
I think we don't have any questions. So, folks, if you have any questions, feel free to post it. Otherwise, we'll call the session off. And we continue to doing these kind of sessions. And I'm going to post the link for the next session we are doing. It's on the stand-up comedy, which it's a stand-up comedy show. So we'll post the link. Feel free to join that and invite your other friends as well. Yeah, just give me a minute.